Hello, today you're starting a new section which is 4-3 and it's called relations. And a relation is just a set of ordered pairs that belong together. And usually they'll show you that they belong together by putting these brackets on the end, and that means they go together. And there are three main ways that we can show a relation. Okay, there is a table. We can show it on a graph, and we can show it on a mapping. So for a table, what you would do is you would label X and Y, and then you would just put your ordered pairs in there. The X is on the X side and the Y is on the Y side. So the X is always the first number, and then the Y is the second number in the ordered pair. So you just list them going down like that. And that's it. So that's pretty easy. A mapping is similar because you're going to have your X and Y, but they use ovals to put the numbers in, and then they draw arrows to show which X goes with which Y. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so in a mapping, like I said, they use arrows to show which X goes with which Y. And you could potentially have a situation where if we had another ordered pair that was like 0 and 4, they would draw an arrow from the 0 to the 4 also. And that's what the purpose of that is, to see if any of the X's repeat or if any of the Y's repeat, which we'll get into more in the next section. But I'm going to take that last one off. And the last way to show a relation is with a graph. And so it's just what it sounds like. You make a coordinate plane and you plot the points on the coordinate plane. Make sure when you plot points, you always label them so you know which point is which. Our last note today is the inverse. So the inverse of a relation is just switching the coordinates. So you literally take the X and make it Y, take the Y and make it X. So you see in purple, I have a relation written down. And I'm just going to switch the X and Y on each one to come up with the inverse. All right, and we'll do that for all of them. And that's how you find the inverse. So now we're going to do some examples from page 209. So make sure you copy all these down and I'll be right back. Okay, so on page 209, number 4, it says express each relation as a table, graph, and mapping. So we're going to do just what we did in our example above for our notes, and we're just going to write each thing down and show these ordered pairs in this way. Okay, so table, again, is your X and Y, where you're just writing the X's on this side and the Y's on that side. And then the mapping, I always do the mapping next. I don't know why, because I think in my brain it just goes with table. It makes sense to me. All right, and so again, we're going to write all the X's down here, and then the Y's here. And then we're going to draw an arrow to show which ones go together. And right now, since we're just starting out, they're super simple, and so they just go straight across. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do is graph them. So I have 5 and -2. I have 8 and 3. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. That's way over here. I didn't plan that out very well. Sorry. And then -7 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. Okay. So there we go. I have my table, my graph, and my mapping. And I'm not going to do any more examples from that section because I think you probably get it, but email me if you have a question. Okay, so I wrote a couple down from this section. It says write each mapping graph or table as a set of ordered pairs as a relation, and then write the inverse. So for each one, we're going to write first the ordered pairs or the relation, and then the inverse. All right, so we just write it down like ordered pairs. And then we write the inverse by, remember, just flipping the x and y. So on this one, x is going to be -2 and y will be 3. I have to be careful because sometimes I don't flip it, so I have to be real careful and check myself. Okay, so that's it. And we're going to do the same thing for number 11. So number 11 is one of those more complicated mappings that I was telling you about. So let's go ahead and look at that. So first, my relation is just writing down the ordered pairs. Okay, so I see, if I follow the arrow, that 2 goes with 8. I see that 3 goes with 7. I see that 4 goes with 6. And I see that 5 also goes with 7. Okay, so 7 repeats on the y's, but in a mapping you only write it one time, and then you just draw more arrows to that number if you need to use it more than once. Okay, and then inverse, easy part, just write them the other way, flip them around. 8 and 2, 7 and 3, 6 and 4, and 7 and 5. All right, this is the last one, and it says the same directions as before. Write the relation or the set of ordered pairs, and then write the inverse. So we're just going to read the graph and write the ordered pairs. I'm going to start over here. So -1, 2. And then this one would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, -1. And then the last one is 3, -3. Okay, so there's my relations, just writing down the points as they are on the graph. And then the inverse, just switch the x's and y's. Okay, and that is all for today. So let me know if you have any questions. Bye.